In the face of all this chaos, the question is, can we take a step back like Marcus Aurelius did? Can we reclaim our inner peace by accepting what we can't control? Here's the problem: we're not taught to accept uncertainty. Our education system is designed to make experts, not resilient humans. At school, we get rewarded for getting things right. In business, we get promoted for hitting targets. Our whole life revolves around achieving specific outcomes. But the truth is, the only constant in life is change. As Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "Everything in life is subject to change, everything except your present thought. That is yours to choose." Accepting what we can't control is not about giving up. It's about focusing our energy on what truly matters. Listen to that again. Everything in life is subject to change, everything except your present thought. That is yours to choose. As long as we're thinking, we have the power to decide how we react. Think about it: a pot of soup tastes good when you're hungry. Same soup can taste bad if you're full. Why? Because our reaction to the event, in this case, the soup, depends on our state of mind. If your mind is cluttered with worries about the future or regrets about the past, you won't savor the present moment, no matter how good it is. On the other hand, if your mind is calm and focused on the now, even a simple thing like a bowl of soup can bring you joy. So, if we can't control everything that happens to us, what can we control? According to Marcus Aurelius, it's our thoughts. He says that our thoughts determine our attitude, our actions, and ultimately our character. You see, our thoughts aren't just random. They're based on judgments we've made about things. For example, when we say "I am tired," it's not a fact. It's your interpretation of feeling fatigued. In reality, there's nothing in the body that says tired. It's your mind labeling a sensation as tiredness. This applies to everything we experience: fear, anxiety, sadness, anger. It's all about how we label and interpret these experiences. And here's the real game changer: we can choose how we label things. Marcus Aurelius said that we have the power to accept or reject these thoughts. We can choose to label them as helpful or unhelpful. So why do most of us just let our minds run wild with negative thoughts? Why don't we apply this simple choice? Well, think about this. When negative thoughts arise, they often come dressed as warnings. Be afraid, be very afraid. They scream, "Do this or you'll lose everything." It's hard to ignore these thoughts. They seem urgent, important, and believe me, our brain loves drama. Why? Because evolution has wired us for survival. Back in the days when our ancestors roamed the earth, being prepared for danger meant staying alive. So our brains have evolved to constantly scan for threats, whether it's a saber-toothed tiger or a missed deadline. These thoughts might have helped our ancestors survive, but in today's world, they often cause more harm than good. They turn routine challenges into major crises. They transform minor setbacks into traumatic events. Remember, most of the disturbing things that happen to us are normal, expected, or even necessary. We just choose to make them bigger than they are in our minds. Let's look at some common situations. Losing something important. Let's say you misplace your keys. Most people would label this as, "Oh, I'm so clumsy, always losing stuff." But what if you labeled it differently? What if you said, I need to be more organized so this doesn't happen again." The same situation, two different interpretations, two different responses. Being ignored or rejected. Imagine you work hard on a project and your boss doesn't give you the recognition you think you deserve. Most people would label this as, "My boss doesn't appreciate me. I'm not valued here." But what if you saw it as a chance to prove yourself? Maybe my work wasn't clear enough. I'll make sure to communicate better next time. The same situation, two different interpretations, two different reactions. Facing a difficult situation. Picture this: you're driving home late at night and suddenly you get a flat tire. Most people would label this as, "Why does everything bad happen to me? I'm so unlucky." But what if you shifted your perspective? Well, this is a tough situation. but it's also a chance for me to practice my problem-solving skills. The same situation, two different interpretations, two different mindsets. You see, life is filled with a mix of good and bad. We can't avoid the negative, but we can change how we see it. Instead of letting our emotions overpower us, we can choose to step back and observe them without judgment. We can ask ourselves, is this thought helpful? If the answer is no, then we can gently let it go, knowing that we have the power to create new, more helpful thoughts. Marcus Aurelius practiced this every day. He knew that clinging to negative thoughts wouldn't change anything. It would only make him miserable, so he focused on what he could control, his thoughts. He realized that by mastering his thoughts, he could master his life. He understood that each person and situation was like a mirror reflecting his own judgments and opinions. His daily reminders and meditations weren't just for himself. They were a testament to his philosophy that we can find strength in accepting what we can't control. Think about a parent. Do you think they have control over their kids' choices? No. Parents can guide, advise, and set limits, but ultimately, they can't force their kids to make the right decisions. A parent who tries to control their child's every move is not only ineffective, but they also rob their child of the chance to learn and grow through their own experiences. Similarly, as human beings, we have to accept that we don't have control over every aspect of our lives. Sometimes things will go our way and sometimes they won't. Trying to control every external factor only leads to frustration and unhappiness. Instead, we can find freedom in accepting what we can't control and focusing our energy where it counts, on our thoughts, our reactions, and our character. Now, I know what you're thinking. Easier said than done, right? How do we actually put this into practice in our daily lives? Well, that's what we'll explore in the next part. Stay tuned because we're just getting started. When we accept what we can't control, we free ourselves from the burden of worrying. We stop expending our energy on things that are beyond our grasp. Instead, we focus on what we can influence, our mindset and our actions. When we focus on what we can control, we become more effective, more resilient, and more peaceful. We stop reacting to external events and start responding to them. We become masters of our own destiny rather than victims of circumstance. But it's not a one-time fix. It's a daily practice, a constant reminder to ourselves to stay centered amidst the chaos. And it's not about suppressing our emotions. It's about understanding and accepting them, even embracing them. Emotions are like waves crashing on the shore. They rise and fall, ebb and flow. We don't fight the waves, we learn to surf them. We use our reason, our ability to think and reflect, as a surfboard to navigate the rough waters of life. Now here's the beautiful thing. As we practice this, we don't just transform our inner world, we also transform our outer world. We attract better things into our lives. When we radiate inner peace, when we exude calmness and acceptance, the world responds accordingly. We become more attractive, more influential, more successful. It's like a ripple effect. Our inner peace becomes a ripple that spreads outward, touching those around us. It's not about becoming emotionless robots. It's about becoming more human, more alive, more engaged with the world around us. So as you navigate through the ups and downs of life, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Accept what you can't control, focus on what you can, and find strength in the journey. If you found this perspective helpful, I'd love to hear from you. How do you find peace in a chaotic world? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're curious about diving deeper into Stoic philosophy, I've got something special for you. Check out this video on the other side of Stoicism. See you there.